friends, welcome back, and this is Zubair Altaf Qureshi, and I'm back with a new lesson on F5 LTM training, right? And in this lesson, we are going to talk about the NAT, okay, specifically source NAT and destination NAT, and one more feature that we have in F5, the Auto-Map. Okay, so I suppose this is going to be the longest video in this series, but yeah, we will just I'll actually try to make you understand what source NAT is, what destination NAT is, and what auto-map is, right? And I'll demonstrate it on my lab, and we will try to capture some packets so that we can see those things in action, right? So let's begin with the concept of your destination NAT. So if you like, as in my previous videos, I've already told you by default the big IP F5 will be doing the destination NAT. So how you can understand that is, let me grab my pen. So whenever the client generates a packet, um, say it's an HTTP request, right? So this Linux machine here, it generates a packet, say this one, okay. So what happens here is the client here, right? So I just write it down, client. Uh, Client has a source IP, right? And then it has a destination IP, and then it has a source port, and then it has a destination port, right? So this would be your, say, client. So client source IP is, in this case, is 192.1.100.120, yeah? And destination IP is our virtual server IP, that's 192.100. Sorry, 192. Let me grab my rubber. 192.1.100, right? 1.100.150 in our case, and source port would be random, so let's say 32567 something, and then destination port is your 80 HTTP, right? So this is the packet that flows from this to this, right? Now when the big IP sends the packet from here to, say, one of the servers, so that would look like what? From, so this is from client, now it is from F5 to server, F5 to server, right? So from F5 to server, it would look like uh, the source would not change, it would be the same, ended on 120. But what will happen is, it will do the load balancing, and it will change the destination IP with one of the pool members, right? Nodes. And then the source port is going to remain the same, and destination port is going to remain the same. So that is the flow from one side, okay. And now let's see the flow from the other side. Okay, let me delete this again. Let's again bring up the table. Source IP, then you have okay, destination IP, right? And then you have source port, and then you have destination port, right? So now this part is done. Now we will do the reverse traffic from the server to the big IP F5, right? So this is from the server to the big IP, server to F5, okay. Source IP would be your pool member IP, right? Destination IP is back to your 192.1.100.120, the client PC, right? So that destination, because it has to. So now here the main point is that your server should have routing. In our case, we have a default route, right? Default route that points to the IP address of the big IP, right? 10.1.1. 100. Yeah, so that is the default router that we have in the server. I mean, we with the router, right? Now the source port would be 80 this time, and the destination port would be that random 768. I don't know. That was the one. So that is the one, and from here to here, then again you would have the same thing. 10.1.1, not now 10.1.1.1. Now it will untranslate that, right? So it will untranslate this inside IP, because this is a private IP, right? So it will untranslate this to the 192, the virtual IP of the virtual server, right? So this is 150 going to 192.1.100.120, right? And your source is 80 and destination is the same. So that is how the packet should look like, right, when we are doing the destination NAT, right? So let's see what we can do in the lab. What we can do is I will capture, I mean, 4 packets. I'm going to capture 4 packets. One is on this interface, one is on this interface, one is on this interface, and one is on this interface. So I can see when the traffic passes through here, and also when it leaves through here, then the return traffic when it leaves on E0, and then it goes to this from here, right? So likewise I will show you all the 4 packet captures, right? We will filter the STT packets only. So let me just start a capture on the E00. So this is the left to right leg. So I will try to in a sense, I mean, arrange this, and I will also filter it to HTTP. Now this one on the E11, right? This is another one, and again I will filter it with the HTTP. Okay, great. Okay, done. Okay, I will see nothing right now. So yeah, then I will capture again the other side, that is E12. So other side I want to see. Here I will keep it on top. I'll filter it to HTTP, and the last part is the server, right? E00. I can capture any one of these, but I will go with the top one. Yeah, HTTP. So you can see the health monitoring going on, right? HTTP. So this is between the F5 interface inside and the server interface, right? So let me go to my, okay, let me just open up all of this so you can see. So what should happen is I will go to my client PC that is on the outside, and I'll generate a HTTP request, right? I'll stop all of this. 3, 4, right? So first of all, I should see a packet that is going from the source address of 120 to 150, right? That's what we saw. So that is the leg from your client to the virtual address, right, of the server. So then from there, what happens is this is from your I think this is from the server to the not this one. It should not be like this. I think I have. Okay, let me check this one. So this is from your okay, this is on the interface. Obviously this is on the public side, so it will receive the same traffic. So this is from the server to the sorry, from the F5 to the server. So from here I should see an HTTP GET request. So I'll see the source port 57658, right? 567658, and I'll try to find it here. 565656 something 5. Yeah, so this one, right? So you can see what is happening is this is the source port. So okay, so this is the source port, right? So this is the same packet, 57658 57658, right? Destination port 80, HTTP, and source is still the same, but the destination has changed. So this is the DNAT that is happening by default on your F5, right? So now this is from the F5 to the server. Now when the server replies, this source port should change into destination port. So when I see the packet here, I should look for destination port as 57658. So I'll look into the destination port as 57658, right? I should see something, give me something, come on. Did I stop it soon enough? Yeah, I think so. Before it replied, I've stopped the packet capture. So this is from 150 to this. No, but I am sending a reply, right? So that means it should be here somewhere, but I missed it maybe. Okay, this is from your what? So this is from your this, and okay, so I am receiving actually. This is the reply packet that I'm receiving on the interface of the F5, right? So from here, I it should be somewhere here, but I missed it. Anyways, I can receive it on the interface of the F5, right? So I can see it back, the same thing with the destination port as 5768 and source now changing to port 80, right? And this okay, so I'm getting the response from 1.1.3, but we were monitoring on 1.1.1.1, so that is why I'm not able to see it on 1.1.1.1. okay, fine, that explains. Okay, so the destination is again 1.120, right? That is the destination source, right? This is 1.1.3. Now when it passes through this, it should change the source to my virtual IP, right? This is now changed 1.150 to 120, and again it receives back, the client receives back with 150.120, right? So this is the destination NAT, right? So my destination IP is getting changed, but not my source always remains the same. Now the concept of source NAT is there, okay, wherein what happens is, I mean, mostly in every topic, whether it be any firewall, it is said to be source NAT. But in case of F5, it's a bit different, and they call it Secure-NAT. I mean, that makes sense, right? That does make sense. Secure-NAT and also source NAT makes sense, but it's their choice what they want to call. Secure-NAT in a sense that we are securing our internal private IP address, right? And we are hiding it on the outside with the public IP, right? So we are hiding our private side and securing our private IP address range. So the outside guys can never know what public private IP range we are using inside, right? So that is your source NAT. What happens is, in this case, the if you have an option where we can do what, the F5 will change the destination as well as the source of the of the uh, of the packet, right? That is between this and this. And now you would think, why would you do so? Why would you do so? In the in I will give you a scenario, one of the scenarios. Okay, so just imagine this server, right? It has no default gateway. Okay, so when I mean, when the source came as 192.1.100.120, right? He had to reply back to this IP address, but he checked his routing table. He found a default route, or you can say uh, uh, default gateway, right? And it sent to the default gateway the what do you say, the packets, right? But on the like first thing that it checked was the routing table. Now just imagine it has no routing table and no routing capability. So that means that it can just communicate it I mean communicate on the local LAN, right, with these guys. Okay, and the gateway also can communicate, right, without the default gateway, because gateway is the same subnet, right? So that is one scenario where the source and destination NAT both will be very much important. But because what will happen is, now the source would be changed from 192.1.100.120, 120, right, to something that is inside this. I'll make it to 192.1.100.120, 120, right, to something that is inside this. I'll make it to 120, right, to something that is inside this. I'll make it to 120, right, to something that is inside this. I'll make it to 120, right, to something that is inside this. I'll make it to uh, change it to the internal IP address of this F5, right? So now that this server would receive a packet from this IP address as a source, right? So now he has to reply to this destination. So it's in the same subnet, so it has no issues whether it has a routing table or not, right? Or even a routing capability, right? So that is what where you one of the scenarios where you need the source NAT to be done, right? So let's see how it will work. So I'll just delete this, and again I'll draw the same table source IP, but I'll try to bring this in the same table destination IP, source port, and then I have the destination port. So in this case, what will happen from client to from client to the F5, right? From client to F5, the source is 192.1.100.120 and destination is 192.1.100.150 and your source port is 80, destination port is something 5689 say. This is just a random port. Okay, my mistake. Oh, source is random. Sorry, I thought like what I'm doing. Source is random, so that means some random port, and this is port 80, well-known port. And when the F5 receives it, okay, it forwards it to the server, right? So now what we'll do is destination IP, it will change it to the server IP. I know. So let's take in this case also this one, but the source port, right? Source IP, it will be changed to this one. Then again the same source and destination port, right? So now when the server receives this packet, he has to reply. So the reply would be from the source 10.1.1.1 to source 10.1.1.1.110, right? Source port this, destination port this, and now when the server replies back, it will untranslate, I mean to say both of the NATed IP address. So this would again become 192.1.100.150 and this would become 192.1.100.120. Okay, and this is the source and this is the destination. Guys, hope you understood, right? Okay, let's see this in action. I'll again what I'll do is I'll again capture those interfaces and see this in action. And to do this source NAT, you have to change, you have to enable the source NAT first of all, right? So let's go and change the settings and see where the setting is. So you have to go to your big IP appliance. First of all, log in obviously, admin and admin123, that is your default what I have kept. So in here you have to go to your virtual server obviously, and to my virtual servers that I have as HTTP. So when you scroll down here, you will see source address translation. So by default you don't do source address translation, you can do it on the SNAT. I'll show you what Auto-Map is. SNAT, right? Then I don't have a pool, I can create a pool. In order to create a pool, right, so I have to go to the address translation and SNAT pool list. Okay, here you can see the SNAT list, pool list, and translation list, NAT list, like that. So we have to go to your SNAT pool list and create a new one. Okay, you will name that my SNAT pool. Okay, that is the one. IP address that I want to use is say the 10.1.1.110, right? That is my address, right? So I'm just using one address as of now. You can have a range of addresses here. Okay, I'll just hit finished. Fine. Once this is done, what I need to do is I need to go to my virtual server, back into the virtual server, scroll down, and in the source NAT, right, here I have to say source NAT and my pool, this one, and then update. Once this update is done, then I can test my connectivity, right? So let's wait and let's go to my machine here and let's see. Okay, so that has been done now, and I'll bring up my machine here, and I have to change, I think, the IP address here. I have not ended, or 120 is my IP address. Rest is fine, I don't bother. Now I have to go to my, so in this case what I'll do is, okay, last time I captured 4 of the interfaces. This time I'll capture only 2. So I'll capture this one, and I'll capture this one, and I can see the packet going from here to here in what format, and from here to here in what format, and then when reply comes back, I can see the addresses, and then I can see here also the addresses, right, back. So I need to capture 2 interfaces only to see all of this, right? So yeah, that's what I will do. I'll just go here, right click and capture, and that is E00, open Wireshark, right click, capture E1/1.2, open Wireshark, right? So let's wait for the Wireshark to initialize, right? It has, yeah, it has. So this is my, okay, this is the one from the what do you say, the F5 to the servers, because I can see, no, this is not the one. If I'm getting HTTP, that is the one. Yeah, this is the one. So I have HTTP traffic, right? These are the health monitors, right? Okay, I'll just expand this as well as this, and now I'll go to my server here, and I will enter the 192.1.100.150, that is the virtual server IP address, right? So when I hit enter, I should be prompted for username, that is admin, password Cisco123. Hope I entered correct. Okay, nice. So I'll stop it now here, and I'll also stop it here. Okay, let's see now. Which one is this? Okay, this is from the F5 to the, okay, nice. So from so let's see this one, right? So the source port and the source IP is 120. That is my source IP is 120, right? That is my Linux machine, and the destination is 150. Nice. And the destination port is 80. So this is the leg from your client to the virtual server, right? To the virtual server IP. Now from your virtual server to the pool members, right? The source should be changed as well as destination should be changed. So now the source should be 110 and destination should be 10 or 1 dot something, whatever. So I'll just see. So I have to check the source port, because source port will remain same. So source port is this one. So this is the packet, and you can see now the source address has been changed as well as the destination, and you can see the reply coming from 1.2 going to 1.10, and the source port and destination port has been interchanged, and I can see here again the same packet coming back to me, but then again the source and destination have been again untranslated on the F5, right guys? So this is the source NAT and destination NAT, right? Many of the firewalls, I mean not many, I would say, but this concept is also called twice NAT in case of your ASA, because you are, I mean, NATing both source as well as destination, right? So that is one thing you need to I mean, you can remember this term, and you can see there is a NAT, okay, and you can see the translation list is here. You can check the statistics. These are the hits, SNAT translations. Yeah, you see the translations here. So yeah, so that was your source NAT, right? Now another thing is your Auto-Map, right? What Auto-Map does is you don't need a pool for that. Auto-Map automatically translates the source address to your floating IP address, but for that you should have a floating IP address on your F5, right? In my case, I do have configure the floating IP address, you can go to network and self IPs, and I can see that this is 100. Yeah, this one. So I can see, yeah, this is the floating IP. So that's it. I have already updated my this one, what you say, yeah, updated my virtual server to use Auto-Map. Nice. So this time it should not be 110, this time it should be 100. That would be the source IP from the from the F5 to the server. So let me just start this again. Yeah, I continue without saving. Should start and start, continue without saving. I'm not able to do this again, I think. Yeah, I'll just close this, and I'll again go to my interfaces, and I'll capture this again, and this one also. This is E1/2. So the difference would be here. Last time it was using my pool 110 IP address. Now it use the floating IP address, right? That is 100 HTTP. Okay, that is my F5 to this, and this is my PC, Linux PC, and I'll do again the same thing. I'll generate a traffic, right? I got the reply. I'll stop it. I'll stop it right here. So if I see this time my source port is 56612 and 80, right? So I need to look for this one, right? So this is the source port. Now you can see the source address being changed to 100. That is my floating IP address, right? And the destination is 1.3, and the reply comes from 1.3. Source and destination ports get changed, and the reply again goes to back to 120, and the source has been again changed to your virtual server IP 150, right? So yeah, this is your source NAT, your destination NAT, and your auto-map concepts and the demonstration, right guys? So guys, hope you like this video. I know this was a bit long than the other videos that I have in this training session, but yeah, it was a good session, I guess. Yeah, and if you have any doubts, kindly do comment, and you can ask for clarification if you have any doubts.